Hello and welcome. Here we are again, the Marianne and Corinna duo on Tuesday morning. And we have a really interesting subject for today. And I just realized I'm saying that every single time. So, Dida. But what is included in being unique? And I sat with that, and I mean, we all are different. So, from that perspective, each one of us is unique. Duda, what's so special about it? But are we willing to claim the uniqueness that we are? That is one thing. And the other thing that I looked at is if we claim uniqueness, how much might judgment be part of that? And how much may separation be part of that?
Mhm.
And if, when I was sitting with those questions, I realized, oh, forest, each tree is unique in the forest. There are the different species of trees, but then even within each species, each tree is unique. I mean, this tree is here and there's another tree. But how much are we aware of that the trees are all connected, are one, and that is happening underground? That is not visible. And so I really liked that idea, and I thought, what if each one of us being unique in an invisible way is connected and one with another? And I mean oneness not in the way I used to interpret it when I heard oneness in context of spirituality, which seemed to me like we're all one blob. There is no individuality, no distinction. No, there is the individuality, and we're not separate, we're one,
Mm. Yeah.
which is quite different. So it's really, are we willing to claim our uniqueness? And in the forest, to go back to that image, each tree is contributing through their uniqueness to the health and the well being of the forest.
Yeah.
So, how far is actually claiming our uniqueness a contribution to a group, to humankind overall? And how much is not claiming it and going for fitting in and we're all the same, actually damaging in a sense? The uniqueness is strengthening. That's what came for me. I can just share
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So it's a really interesting looking at that for me. And you are looking really pensive, Meryl. So
I'm going
I was
everywhere.
wondering, maybe I'll hand it over to you and see what your thoughts are here.
Yes, I'm going everywhere because it is matching, fitting in with what I was pondering around it today as I came across in my thoughts again to something I heard Matthias explaining, Matthias de Stefano, about that the universe splitting into two,
Mm-hmm.
which becomes the polarity, but it is going on and on and on and on, which is the network. And that brought me to that invisible network we are connecting. But every split part is the uniqueness, is collecting, having data, information, and due to that invisible network, we do connect and we share
Hmm.
information to become, yeah, more in vibration with the oneness, as we call it, in the diversity, not as all the same.
Yeah.
But it
And
was interesting, but you said something and it slipped away, but it was, I can't remember what it was, but you said something and I thought, that is really interesting. And I can't remember. So when it comes back, I will pick it up. But there was something really beautiful in a perspective never touched before, not even yesterday within our conversation as we go.
yeah, what you said, what that brought up for me is Matthias also uses biology as an analogy for the universe. And every cell fulfills a function. We cannot have every cell wanting to be the heart, part of the heart. Then our body would not function. We need all those different cells, and it's in that diversity there is the uniqueness, because it's this function or that function within a body that actually makes the body alive.
And it jumped in what it was. And
Okay.
it is related with that. It was something you said about, are we damaging when we
Oh.
not claim? But it is. If we are not claiming our uniqueness, the cell we are in, or the neuron we are in the complete network, then yeah, are we truly damaging the whole by not claiming it?
Mm-hmm.
So what if, because we spoke yesterday, if you remember, towards potency, as we came across things we could remember that occurred, and from the start it looked like we requested things to the universe and it happened. That when we tapped into, what is it? Is it requesting and at the same time being that energy, but because we are not willing to
Mm.
really recognize, acknowledging that being that energy, that is the potency, we are, because we are one with what we request. So it can be manifested, but it's more ease to go with the idea, oh, yes, I requested it and I was in allowance. So it could be happen. But
Yeah.
were we truly in, yes, we are in allowance. That is true. But if we are willing to truly acknowledge potency that is within that uniqueness, within the individuality, how much more can we manifest, actualize?
And now you triggered my memory on something that we also talked about yesterday, that how much are we shying away from claiming our uniqueness because we automatically associate, if I am unique, then I'm more, that I'm better, that there is some form of judgment associated with it.
Yeah,
But what if claiming the uniqueness is just claiming what is? That doesn't make anybody better, more, or whatsoever. And
exactly.
we
And then
are
you come
all,
out of the separation
yeah,
because when we claim it as unique, as special, as whatever judgment
and
there is, yeah, we put on it, there we go into the separation.
yes,
So uniqueness looks like, as we go with the word, uni one,
Yeah.
looks like it is something, or you can interpret it as something separate. But when you go from the uni, from the one started point where everything is, then it is a complete other game.
And I mean, again, looking at nature, does nature do sameness? Or does nature do diversity, which consists out of unique aspects?
Exactly. And it's even staying with nature when we go to the thunderstorms or the lightnings, which are really seen as something really powerful. But
Mm-hmm.
are they truly claiming that they are special or more than the tree or than the fruit on the tree or the leaves? Even that, every leaf is unique,
Mm-hmm.
and together they can manage so much more because of they know I'm not just that leaf. I am part of something bigger. And if I play my part, if I acknowledge, claim my power, then I can truly contribute to whatever there is to contribute to in that moment. So, yeah.
And to
But
stay
isn't
with,
it, Corinna, if I'm looking back to my childhood, there was often as presented that when you are unique, you are something special. So you are something out of the normal,
mm-hmm, out of the
out of the
ordinary.
sameness.
Yeah.
So it was something seen as we take you out of the circle because this is something special. And more of that, how much weight was laid on to have or be something special in a moment. So, where did we perhaps not really conscious, but could it be that we unconscious also leaned back for not being special because of not willing to have that weight on our shoulders?
And is it just the perceived weight? Uh, and yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. But how much did we as children perceive the judgment that was inherent from the adults that labeled us as unique? And we
Yes,
didn't want to have anything to do with that. As a kid, you want to be part of your group. Being pulled out of the class, uh, it really didn't feel good.
exactly that. It is
Yeah,
impregnated nearly that it is separation.
yeah.
It is taking out, and we do everything to belong. But therefore, we are willing to let go of the power to be less, to not acknowledge who we truly are, so we can fit in. Wow.
Instead of acknowledging the skills, the strengths, the capacities that we have that make us us.
Yes. And how much morality made things wrong. And even simple things, if you would laugh different, if you would greeting someone else in a different way, if your gratitude shown in a different way, so many things that came from that yeah, spontaneous of
Yeah.
a knowing of being, but from the start you have to fit in the rules, and especially when you start school.
Yeah.
And morality are the rules there, because what is, you have to respect the teacher, but what is it? What, it was never shown. How did they show respect is you have to do this and this, and you can't do this and this, and when you complain this, it is that then
Yeah.
you are respectful, but never was really shown or felt. So I can remember vaguely, and more and more and more, is how deep sad I could feel myself inside of the confusion of, that's not correct, there is something else different, it's weird. I found it many things around me weird,
Mm-hmm.
but the environment around me thought that I was the weird one.
Yeah. And I want to come back to respect. I mean, from my perspective, respect is a two-way street. It is difficult to respect somebody who does not respect me. And if I look at my school years, especially first and second grade, how much was it that the teacher pulled out the ruler and smacked you on your hands? So it seriously hurt if you did something that they didn't like. That
But
is not respect from my
can I add something on
yeah.
to what you said? How can you respect someone if that someone does not respect you? That was a way I was going for a long time also. Now where I am, even more in depth for me, is like, it doesn't bother me any longer if someone else does respect me or not. It will not change that I will respect the other, which can mean respect that the other one is a bully, respect that the other one is treating me well. I know that I can make other choices. It's, I
Yeah.
can respect how what the other is choosing. That is not the same as I have a line to that. I
Yeah.
have to be,
Yeah.
accordingly to respecting me. Is it more if I respect me, automatically all those others are respected? And
That's
how much do we long for so long? Because I can remember, Corinna, it was like, I'm not seen by those and I'm not respected by them. But truly, truly, where it came back to was, I didn't see me.
mm-hmm.
I didn't respect me. So, yes, I can respect everyone from respecting me, myself, knowing that invisible connection, and every unique part, every particle may and can play their role, if you can name it as that. So, yeah.
I want to point out something though, because we were talking about school and respecting the teacher, and there were certain requirements that you showed respect. I mean, the Chinese way is almost overdoing it in one way if you bow towards that other person, but it also represents what was expected. And when you talk and I'm in the same space, I can respect everybody, but that doesn't mean I bow to everybody. I don't bow to somebody who is abusive.
No.
I don't need to be abusive to somebody who is abusive. that is respecting that person as a person,
Exactly.
but it still does not mean that I subjugate myself to
And
their abuse.
and when we bring in the gratitude, even goes together with this respect. It is. I
Yeah,
can be. I can respect the other. I can even be grateful. It
yeah,
doesn't mean that I have to bow or go along with that person, but it is acknowledging that everything starts from the same origin.
yeah,
And it's just another particle, it's just another side sometimes of that same point. And it is so relaxing, Corinna, when we don't have to figure out, is it good, is it bad, is it right, is it wrong? Because how much energy did we put into
yeah.
those things to figure
Yeah.
that out? Where am I at?
And am I correct in my judgment is on top of that,
Yes, yes,
or am I doing it wrong? So, and what just came for me is, we talked about body and the uniqueness of each cell, and there are potentially cancerous cells in our body, and in some instances, the body takes care of that and eliminates them. In some instances, they really cause havoc and create disease. And what if that is the same thing within humanity? There are people who are abusive, and I mean abusive now in the widest possible sense. And the group that they are in takes care of them because no, that's not okay, or you're out of here.
yeah.
And otherwise, maybe several abusive cells combine with each other and then enforce, and you know uh, it becomes cancerous, it becomes disease producing.
And
So
could it be, Corinna, that that is going with that respect? As as a son, I saw it in a way,
mhm,
speaking to cancer cells. Yes, the body takes care of it because it is part of
yeah,
whatever is required to having the body we have. And sometimes it explodes, it
yeah,
goes wrong, eh? It becomes. But could it be that it is, as I see it for myself, for example, I'm really patient. I thought I wasn't, but finally I know I am a really patient person, as I spend so much time, energy in trying to explain the same and the same and the same to the same person, because the same person came same every time again with the same question. As then there is that point that the light really goes up on, and that I was aware of, but hey, wait a minute, this person comes with the same question, but that's it. There is not really the openness and
mhm,
the willingness to receive the
yeah,
information that is shared there. So, in that moment, I can function as, let me say, nearly that cankerous exploding, because I
mhm,
say, I'm out,
yeah,
enough. So, sit there, and then everything that was shared with that person, not received, accumulated, is bubbling, 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 and yeah, it is
exploding,
possible
yeah.
that it explodes there. Wow, I never saw that in that way, but it is similar in a way. And coming back to the body and the respect, and I can speak for myself, it starts now to lighten up due to also the information receiving due to Matthias, how he is explaining the things. But I can say for myself that for years, of course, for years, I'm young enough, but I'm not 20 years any long. But all those years, I was not respecting my body,
Mm-hmm.
even though I know I love my body because I'm still here with this body. So there is a pure love. There is a pureness in the connection I have with my body. And truly my body 2 times went really like giving up, as literally the heart became the intestines, and the stomach would became the heart, completely this chaos in my body. As when I saw the acupuncturist at the time, that she said to me, I don't understand, I don't get how it is possible that you are still alive. I don't know, I don't get it. But I really felt me alive. So there I knew it was the energy of that pure love, knowing something more about the body and how it does function, that it was the fuel to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, I didn't respect it because I was not really conscious, aware of how it does function. So, yeah, the relationship with my body is during my whole life a really interesting journey. Really interesting. And I'm getting it now from another
Yeah.
perspective due to respect. Wow.
And on some level, how much is that part of us growing? That we get it layer by layer by layer. It's not
Absolutely.
that we totally penetrate and are, let's stay with the body. We are enlightened in regards to the body. Doesn't mean necessarily we are enlightened overall, but just in that one aspect or the other aspect, uh, so how much are we willing to peel back the layers and pay attention? I mean, I shared with you yesterday that spring has sprung here where I live, and all the weeds just exploded. And so there was a lot of weeding that I had to do, which really showed me uh, there is stuff that I need to pay attention to, and with my body. And how much is it also that there is the being has a respect and a love for the body, and in return the body has a love for the being and doesn't give up right away just because the being is acting stupid, doesn't give up right away on the being.
That's beautiful, Corinna. The body, loving. Yeah, it's beautiful you mentioned this because so many things, in whatever way they're speaking to the body, if it is by exercising or diets
Mhm.
or whatever, most of the time the therapists or the doctors or whatever they are speaking to being loving the body, and then everything is okay. But it is true. The body is so wise and pure that that love that the body has for us, the beings, that is the true magic. Therefore, it can be also that yeah, that beautiful, beautiful, whatever you can call it. It's far beyond than an instrument.
And what if
Yeah,
it's a collaboration between two conscious entities?
absolutely. It is, and do we still separate
Mm-hmm.
as we have a body instead we be the body? And being more present with nature is so much helping with it.
Yeah, definitely.
As I started again, because the weather, spring is in and the temperature is higher, I started again walking barefoot. It's
Mm-hmm.
not really on the ground because I'm on the second floor, but it is such a difference.
But the house is on the ground.
Exactly. Exactly. And it is such a difference walking
Yeah,
barefoot. It is more ease to remember what we be.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, yes. So even this, the uniqueness of our bodies, the uniqueness.
Are we willing to? I mean, the way I see it is, I cannot claim the uniqueness of my body, but am I willing to uh, adore the uniqueness of my body and be grateful for it, choosing to be unique and not just kicking me to the curb because I'm acting stupid?
Exactly. And respecting really the body as
Mm-hmm.
allowing the body to be what it wants to be. It is knowing also that without this body, it is a bit more difficult to talk, isn't it? To talk, to share, due to
It's a little bit more difficult to potential, from a five senses perspective, see each other. Uh,
sense,
sense,
smell.
yeah, all those things. Be in nature, and not only feel the sunshine and the heat, even though we may not necessarily like or be enthusiastic about it. I'm at least not a hot person. I like it cool. But nevertheless, it's just being there, smelling. Spring has all these smells
Yes,
that are there, and just really, it's not possible without a body.
exactly. It is. And bringing up the spring, etc. It's like, yeah, when someone would ask, what is your preference, the season, your preference season? And most of the time I would say spring and summer, those two go together because I like the heat, I like the warmth.
Hmm.
I'm not that cold person. But now during the years, it's more like that every season is so unique and
Yes.
every season has other smells and senses and it is so beautiful. So do I truly have a preference? Yes, I have more preference for the heat than the cold, but not that preference as, oh, then I am alive. When that is,
Yeah.
no, I can be alive even in winter. I can be alive because there is that acknowledgement of the uniqueness, also what winter is,
Hmm.
and that it is required,
That the cycles are required. That, yeah.
as the cycles with our body are
Yeah.
required. Hmm. So uniqueness is so much more than just one thing
Yeah.
separated from all the rest.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow. This conversation expanded even more on what we spoke to
Yep.
yesterday.
It
Yes.
it did.
So I hope it is a contribution for the listeners also. And yeah, let us know. Let
I
us know what you think.
I hope so too. And I'll hope to see you, hear you, or read from you via
Whatever
a
way.
comment or whatsoever. And until next week,
Until next
what
week.
are we gonna talk about next week? Explore. Yeah.
Who will know? We will
I, I,
see.
I have to admit, I'm curious every week. So what's let's see what's going on during the weeks that we are going to talk about between this is what's going on for us and then what is the thread that combines all of that, and let's talk to that. And it's really so fascinating, all the stuff that comes up through
It
that.
is, Corinna. And the beauty is that we truly start from our own lives,
Yeah.
our daily life. It's not that it is something special or unique, as in separated or whatever it is. It is really speaking
And
from who
it's
we
not
are in daily
something,
life.
and it's not an intellectual conclusion that this is what we should be talking about.
No, I love it.
Yeah, me too.
So let us know if you, listener, also love it.
Yeah. Okay. Take
So
care,
bye bye.
everybody. Bye
See you
bye.